Hi there, so it is the 28th of February, the last day of February of 2018. Good God, where has January and February gone? Um, it has been very snowy over the last 2 days. If you're in the UK, then you've probably been victim to this beast from the east. I didn't think it was going to be particularly much on Tuesday. Yesterday, there was some snow. It didn't really lay. Got up this morning and there'd been at least 2 or 3 inches of snow. Getting to work was interesting. It was quite slippery down the street where I live, because obviously there isn't much traffic apart from the village traffic that goes up and down the street. And the main street through the village was a bit better. And then once you got to the main roads and things, the 10:35, it was clear, but the traffic was just ridiculous. I don't know what it is about people in this country. A bit of snow and everybody goes completely, utterly mental, driving at like 10 mile an hour or stuff. It's just there really isn't anything to driving in snow. You just need to drive really carefully, anticipate much more earlier, leave like treble the braking distance, brake smoothly and gently, change gears gently. You don't need to go driving at 20 mile an hour unless the conditions call for it, people. It's common sense. Well, it's not common sense, it's just people need to practice. I grew up on a farm, so down our street it just perpetually used to get icy and that. But I mean, obviously, you know, I only lived there until I was 26, so I only had a car from like 18. But you still got to learn a few things and stuff. So anyway, but today was pretty horrendous. I got to a sort of halfway and got stuck on a bypass, stuck on the Minster Way, the Beverley bypass. I moved about 200 yards in 40 minutes. I thought, I cannot really stand being stuck in traffic jams. I find them ridiculously tiring. So I turned around and worked. I went to go back and work at the hospital for a couple of hours, and then got into work. So yeah, so it was been a bit of a strange day, and it's been quite snowy today. The snow hasn't melted in like the car park or the roads surrounding the complex where I work, and it was definitely laying on. When I was coming home, there's some quite decent snow showers, and it is freezing. I've got my windscreen washer doesn't work at the moment. I'm hoping that it's just because it's frozen, the mechanism is frozen. I'm really hoping that the motor that drives the window washers, the water jets, hasn't broken, because I'm actually going on holiday. I'm going away next week, and I really don't need this because I don't really have any time spare to get into a garage to get it fixed, and it would probably mean sourcing a part or getting them to order a part in, and I need to be off pretty early on Thursday morning to get to the campsite and sort of get pitched up before it gets dark, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, but hopefully it's just frozen. I really should get the proper sort of ratio of screen wash to water, especially at these extreme minus sub-zero temperatures that we are experiencing at the moment. Hopefully today apparently was the worst day for us. Tomorrow is going to be a worse day for the south of England, because they're going to be experiencing Storm Emma, which is coming in. So stay safe down in the south of England. So that's really been the focus for the last couple of days, is the snow, or on Tuesday the lack of it, really. We had some pretty bad snow showers, but it didn't really lay and it didn't really affect us. Not in not especially where the specific area which I live and work. I'm not saying that not in Scotland or anywhere else or Lincoln or, there was pretty bad. There was a fatal accident in Lincoln yesterday. I'm not saying that they didn't have considerable amounts of snow. It's just that in East Yorkshire where I am, there wasn't really any snow to worry about. But slightly different story today. And we'll see tomorrow, because I'm assuming that compacted snow will freeze overnight and it will be like a flaming ice rink on the roads. If so, I brought my laptop home. I can work from home and then go in later in the day when it's eased off and hopefully melted a little bit. But we'll see what we'll see. Unfortunately, Clubbercise was cancelled tonight due to the school closing after normal school hours due to the snowy conditions. There was a lot of schools closed today. Our local school wasn't closed, and the school that I used to go to with the next... Oh, excuse me, tired. The next village wasn't closed, but the secondary school I went to was closed. And both the primary schools in the same town was closed. I mean, I think it's because the teachers couldn't get in. And sometimes they have problems with heating. But I mean, it's not the first cold snap we've had. I mean, if I didn't turn into work, I have to make a reasonable effort to get into work or go and work at an alternative site, which is what I did today. Otherwise it'd be like, you're not getting paid. So, there's quite a lot of, it's like, yeah, you shouldn't put your life at risk, but, you should make a reasonable effort to get into work, I think. It used to be a lot easier when I had a Corsa. I used to have Corsa, and that used to drive through anything. But now I have a sports car because I think it's because the wheels have a wider wheelbase, a wider wheel, and they just, it's just terrible. But anyway, so yeah, snow, winter. We don't deal with it very well as Brits. We're not used to extremes of temperature. We moan if it's not sunny. We moan if it's not hot. We moan if it's raining too much. We moan if it's snowing. We moan if it's icy. When are we just going to accept what our weather is? We have what's it, transient or whatever, but we have unsettled weather. But we don't really experience extremes of temperature, or we don't deal with extremes of temperature very well. If it's going 30s or something, we lose it. And if we go sub-zero and stuff, we lose it. But I think, we used to get this sort of stuff all the time, but, I don't think we deal with it very well. And we had a few flickerings of the electrics tonight, so, into full emergency mode, because we used to get power cuts all the time at the farm. Into full emergency mode. We got the gas cooker out, got the candles out, we got the lamps out. Nothing happened. But we're completely prepared, I go camping, so we've got all the camping stuff. So, yeah. Otherwise, not a bad day today. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. But wherever you are, and if you're experiencing some of this snow and stuff that's going on in the UK at the moment, please take care. Please don't drive unless you absolutely have to. If you're in an area that's really suffering with the snow, please drive carefully. Please take care of yourselves. And if you know some people in your area that are on the road that are vulnerable, just give them a knock. Take them a flask of tea or something like that. Check if they're all right. Yeah? Show a bit of love. See you tomorrow. Or maybe Friday.